everyone, we really hope that you are enjoying our power saving vlog challenge. Proudly sponsored by and a collaboration with the good energy guys, Origin Energy. Now, I can proudly announce we have invested in a soda stream, a crystal soda stream. Now, during Frugal February, I put this household on a sparkling mineral water ban. We saved at least $40 to $50 for the month, but what was even better was at the end of the week, our recycling bin wasn't busting at the seams. Now, this is one of the most expensive soda streams, and I did a lot of research before I purchased it. It actually is made of glass, so the bottles last a lot longer rather than the plastic ones, and they're dishwasher safe. The other great thing about this is it's not plugged in, doesn't require any power, and also it reduces my environmental impact, not just because of the bottles being consumed, but also this does not involve me getting the car, driving to a supermarket, someone serving me. It's actually reducing my overall consumption, which feels great. Now remember, all these little things that I'm doing really do add up over time, and every time I save money from doing this power saving vlog challenge, all the money goes to round 3 of the $1,000 project. So I've recently shared with you guys that I find the conversation around power and the cost of power to be a bit of an intimidating and overwhelming conversation. But I realize this lack of knowledge and information is simply not good enough. Now, Origin Energy very kindly and very generously organized for an audit of my home so that I can understand how I consume power and understand how I can proactively save money by reducing my consumption. Now, I'm going to share with you the results of this audit in the next couple of vlogs, but the lady that came to my home from Energy Aid was absolutely incredible, and she walked me through my home, explained so many different things, and gave me immediate tips, ideas, solutions, strategies to help reduce my consumption of power immediately. So I'm going to share these things with you right now because I was blown away and, to be honest, really empowered. So the first thing she did was she actually went through my energy bill. Now, I've never really looked at my energy bill other than like paying it, but she went through and explained to me how my household is consuming power and how I'm being charged for it. And as it turned out, me holding off on using certain appliances until what I thought was an off-peak time actually wasn't necessary at all because I was never even connected to an off-peak meter. And we would have only discovered that by actually looking at my bills. So that was incredible. I don't need to create any unnecessary stress or extra effort to try and save money. I can use my appliances when I need to. The next thing I was shown was compliance plates. I didn't even notice these on appliances. Compliance plates are these little sort of boxes on most electrical appliances, and they explain the amount of power that that appliance uses. Now, for things like a kettle that only use a large amount of money but for a short period of time, that's absolutely fine. But for appliances that are quite big and use large amounts of money for a consistent period of time, such as a dishwasher or a dryer or a washing machine or a fridge, those are the ones that we really need to pay attention to and understand, because that is how our electricity and power bills can really blow out. I was also given some really great practical tips for my home, like investing in some curtains and blinds for sections where I have large windows and large, sheets of glass. By having curtains and blinds, it's going to help keep the heat stay trapped inside my home, so I don't need to turn on the heating all the time during winter. And then my favorite tip, which I think was probably the most helpful tip for me, was making sure that when I use my washing machine to make sure that the spin speed is always turned up. Now, by doing that, it means the clothes come out a lot drier. So therefore they'll dry quicker, or if they do need to go into the dryer, they don't need to go into the dryer for as long. So for me, I do like to use my dryer, and sometimes it's not convenient to put the washing on the line if I think it's going to rain and I'm at work all day, this is really helpful. Then other practical tips that were given to me was when I next go shopping for an electrical appliance that's going to heat or cool my rooms, is to check the measurements of the room before I go and buy the appliance. If we buy an appliance that's too small for the room, we end up potentially running the risk of overusing that appliance, and that can really push our power bill and make it blow out. So check the measurement of the room before you go and buy any heating or cooling appliance. Now, the next tip she gave me doesn't actually apply to me because I don't have ceiling fans, but she said most people who have ceiling fans just assume that they're only useful during summertime to cool down a room. But she said actually most ceiling fans these days actually have a reverse button at the top of the fan that you can hit. She said during winter, when you do that and use it, you can actually use the fan to push all the warm, hot air that's trapped at the top of the room, the ceiling, and push it down so that you don't actually need to rely on a heater to heat up the room. You can get the fan in the reverse cycle, pushing the warm air back down to you. Now, talking of staying warm, apparently one of the most cost-effective ways to stay warm during winter is to invest in an electrical throw. Apparently the amount of power an electrical throw uses is really cost-effective, and you could snuggle up on the sofa with an electrical throw or on your bed. It's a great way to stay nice and warm and toasty and comfortable without worrying about your power bill blowing out. And then finally, as I'm finishing up with this energy audit, feeling really empowered and really inspired, I proudly tell the lady from Energy Aid about how I've unplugged all my appliances so they're not wasting power by sitting on standby mode. Now, she had a bit of a laugh and said, you know what, for old appliances, that's correct. That will help save money on power. But she said, explained to me, these days the quality by the manufacturers has really improved so much so that most appliances, when they're sitting on standby, they're actually not using that much energy. And she worked out the actual savings that I was creating by unplugging things wasn't actually worth my time. So to be perfectly honest, this was actually a bit of a relief because it was becoming incredibly inconvenient, constantly pulling and pushing power points in and out of my home all the time every time I wanted to use something. So this was really great to know. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the results of the energy audit, like what are my main appliances that I use, how I can save more money and save more power in my next upcoming vlogs. So if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do. And a massive thank you to everyone that is sharing with me the things that they're doing in their home to save money on power and reduce your consumption, because that is really helping. And I'm actually already applying those habits in my own lifestyle, which I'll also be sharing with you in these upcoming vlogs. So make sure you stay tuned.